So, happy people. I recorded a video about your creative projects and then it didn't post. So, it's kind of late, but I've decided to, one, give you an extension on this, on the deadline for the proposal. And actually, maybe even move up the deadline for the submissions, give you an extra week or so to work on the deadline for the submissions. So I'll let you know that the due date, it'll probably be around April 10th, something like that for the actual project. But this is, I haven't seen any submissions on your part yet about for your proposals, and they're due Monday, which is the day we get back from spring break. So, I don't know if you're on top of this or not. Anyway, the project is for you to, you can do this as a group or you can do this as an individual. And the idea is to really look at different aspects of, to give you a way to apply some of the concepts that we're learning in this course in a different way. So you can put together an audiovisual presentation. So it could be a voiced over PowerPoint. The thing is that other people in the class have to be able to see the result of your project. So you could have a voiced over PowerPoint. You could have a video. You could, have some product that people can see. If one of the suggestions was that you could actually put together a fashion show. So, you could take photographs of the fashion show, just show what was going on, or a video of the fashion show that you can post. Whatever it is, we need to be able to see the product that you produce. So there are three parts to this paper. The first is the proposal, in which you outline what you're planning to do. The second is to actually produce whatever it is that you're planning to do. And the third is to write a paper that's 4 to 5 pages that discusses the connections between your project and the course materials. So whatever it is that we've done in the course, the theoretical approaches, identity, feminist theory, all of those that we looked at, meaning, you're going to link those with the project in your analysis of the project. So there's two steps to this this project. Now, when you go through the instructions for it, you'll see many different ideas. They include such things such as you could look at paintings in history, how women are represented or how men are represented, or how clothing is used iconically to symbolize different things. And that way you could do a voiced over PowerPoint. There's plenty of information that you can use to research that kind of thing. You could use a period in history, you could use a particular painter or sculptor, and identify what's going on. What is it that they're trying to communicate through their painting, through the use of clothing and fashion in their painting. And you can do this with any painting, believe me. You could, as I said before, put together a fashion show that identifies, that looks at appropriate attire for different situations. Another idea, if you're doing this individually, would be to look at to take maybe your family photograph album and go back, 50 years or even more, and look at how your social identity, how your family's social identity was constructed through the use of clothing, and that you can recognize through those photographs. So that could be a very interesting PowerPoint presentation where you could take some of those photographs, or even videos of your family that were taken. But try to get them maybe of your grandparents, your parents, and then yourself. And your generation, you know, so different generations that you can look at how and draw different conclusions, whatever those conclusions are. You could interview, say, a professional woman about see if they experience those kinds of gender bias discrimination, so with regard to clothing, how they experience clothing. And I'd recommend that you interview someone a little older rather than someone your own age, partly because the knowledge of people your own age is shared by your group, and you don't necessarily have the input or the perspective of someone considerably older. So I'd go for someone, in my suggestions, was someone over 50, and just because that will give you a completely different outlook on the experience. You could look at particular television shows with regard to the use of fashion and dress for political and social implications. So what does it mean? How do they use, in a particular movie, how do they use dress to communicate, clothing to communicate social or political positions, and to use power? How is clothing associated with the use of power? So there's any number of different projects that you can do. And as I said, having it due right after spring break, unless, you know, I want to put an extension on that to give you a little more time to work on it. So that's that.